Hi guys, it's Sam from Wrestlesphere here. We've had the pleasure of interviewing Steve Maclin, the current Impact Wrestling World Champion. We got to talk to him about recent pay-per-views, his inspiration, holding championship gold, and even a few things like family. So I hope you enjoy it. Your wrestling persona sometimes feels inspired by another Marvel character, and it fits you really, really well. When did you start feeling that connection to that character?
Which character would that be that you're trying to hint at?
It would be the Punisher.
Yeah. I would say when the show came out with Jon Bernthal, where it was more realistic of the adaptation of what I feel a veteran community is out of somebody who served. And a lot of my buddies and I kind of always thought when that show came out, it was real, it was rugged, and it was true to like just somebody that just has the world against them, his family's taken from him, and it's just I'm killing everyone. So to try to adapt that and take little bits and pieces from that. And then also I kind of steal from Captain America as well. That's why I love reading comics. I just kind of steal little bits of characters that I relate to, whether it's movies or comic books in general. It's just finding those things that fit me. And I'm like, okay, I can adapt that to me this way and tell the story this way. This is a layer this way. It's building those layers and finding the things that work for you. And that's the one thing I love doing. Is finding what works for me and getting the casual fan to tune in. And when they see me, what are they actually seeing? And for you to just say, oh, I feel like you're the Punisher. I'm like, oh, cool. I'm hitting what I'm supposed to be. It's like when people tune into John Cena, they know he's Superman.
Yeah.
So it's just the same thing. It's like, okay, cool. You instantly know what that person is, and that's what you want to do as a talent.
It's great as well because it fits you so well, and it's that's a character who's quite untapped because we've got a lot of wrestlers look at, say, Daredevil, Spider-Man. There's a lot of inspiration from Marvel out there, but that's a really, really great one, and he's one of those characters. Like I say, he's really, really untapped, and there's so much potential there, and the best art is always inspired by other art. So I don't think the fans ever consider it stealing. I think we consider it inspiration, and we appreciate it completely.
No.
Switching gears a little bit. So Impact is where you are top of the mountain now as the Impact World Heavyweight Champion. It's more accessible than ever before. You've got the collaboration with DAZN, you've got the app, which has existed for a while now, and you've also got the YouTube Insider service. So it must be great from your point of view at top of the mountain to have so many eyes on the product now.
Yeah, it's just only getting better. And that's the one thing, too, is we want to get as many eyes on them. And like you said, with being on Access TV on every Thursday night as well, but then you can tune into YouTube because that's what my wife and I do to watch the episodes each week is we watch on YouTube just because our provider doesn't have access. But our neighbors do, which is weird. So it's just one of those things that just doesn't make sense, but we just find a way. And that's the one thing we try to tell fans, like, no, you can watch us here. And it's very hard where it's not just one place, not like USA Network or TNT, but it's also the world of streaming is out there. And that's what the good thing as well is we're getting more eyes on people that don't have cable nowadays because most people don't anymore. Most people just have the basic cable channels and they stream everything on their phone, whether it's Netflix, Amazon, Hulu, all the streaming services. So it's just good to get eyes on and try to get more people to watch the product. And that's what we are is Impact Wrestling is the best wrestling show out there, I feel. I know fans are starting to realize that as well. And that's also what's catching more of the buzz too.
It's definitely exciting. It's, definitely an exciting time. I'm one of the YouTube guys as well, just so you know. I like the fact that I can have it on my iPad, my TV, and seamlessly bounce to it and things like that. It's great. I have to watch a lot of wrestling for my job, so it makes life easier.
I do as well. Don't worry. Wrestling's on every night in our household. We'll be watching NXT tonight while we're eating dinner. So
superb. Speaking of NXT, you be it Steve Maclin the man or Steve Maclin the Impact Champion, taking everything that's happened in your career in recent years, including NXT, which was still a great run, by the way. I enjoyed it thoroughly. But do you ever now feel vindicated, being top of the mountain, do you feel vindicated that any bumps in the road you might have had are now worth it?
Oh, it's all worth it. It led me to where I am as the Impact World Champion. And you might not think of it. You might be bitter at the time. It's just like anything in life. You're just like, why is this happening to me? Why can't it be this? Why can't it be better? I deserve more. I work my ass off, blah, blah, blah. Like you're constantly in your own head. And then you fast forward to now. And it's fulfilling. It's just knowing, okay, I had to go through all that to get where I am now. I had to learn those lessons, those life lessons. It got me to my wife, our house, the dogs, just to enjoy life. I get to travel the road with my wife. We're going to be in Columbus this week. We're going to Australia later this month. Like, it's surreal. And to be on top as the Impact World Champion makes me more appreciative of it as well. And knowing that now the work just even gets harder, where I have to take the company on my back in my own way, whether they want to give me that opportunity or not. I'm going to take that opportunity, whether I'm champion or not. I want to represent Impact as fully as I can to be the best when I go out there, perform the best, make people remember me, but then also remember what Impact Wrestling is, and that's pro wrestling.
Yeah, absolutely. It must be awesome. Like, obviously you and your wife, Deanna, the last pay-per-view you guys had, it must have been a party in your household after that. That must have been a great night to come home and be like, we did it. Or wherever you were. That must have been a great time. It must be lovely as well to have the person you love most in the world, apart from children, of course, to be with you and to actually understand every inch of what you're going through professionally as well, because she's had a quite a similar journey in many ways, hasn't she?
Oh, yeah. My wife is the best. She's better than me. She's one of the best professional wrestlers in the world. And she works her ass off. And I'm so proud of her and everything she does, because she puts every bit of effort into what she does and cares so much about what this craft is of pro wrestling. And she's earned it. And it's the new age of the virtuosa. She's a 3-time knockouts champion now. And it's cool to see. And I had Under Siege to share that night and to spend my birthday in the ER in London, Ontario, getting stitched up, having birthday cake together. And I looked at her and I said, I love you and just thank you for this. And she's like, why you thank me? I was like, well, because we're here in the ER. It's my birthday and you have to sit in the hospital. We didn't get done until like 5 a.m. anyway. We had to be at TV in a few hours. So it was just one of those things where you appreciate the work and the effort and what we get to do together. It's just entertaining.
Well, not only are you now the final boss of your division, 100%. She's the final boss of her division. What a feeling! That's just Captain America, the Punisher, Wonder Woman, and Captain Marvel all rolled into one. Nailed it. So let's just get into some kayfabe stuff if we can, because it's fun.
Okay.
So you've just seen off PCO. Your next challenger is Alex Shelley at Against All Odds. So this is in one of Impact's YouTube monthly specials. So are you, as a character, looking past Shelley, or is there a healthy respect for this veteran? Now, you can answer me as Steve Maclin, who we see on screen, or you can answer me as the man himself.
Who I am on screen is who I am as a man himself. I just turn myself a little bit more. But I'm very much looking forward to this match, because the history Shelley and I have is actually funny, with going back to NXT when he came in as a guest coach. And then he and Kushida wrestled together against myself and Jackson Riker on a few house shows when we were the Forgotten Sons. And it was cool to have the time splitters there and to get to know him then and appreciate, because the body of work he's done for years and what people have taken from the Motor City Machine Guns in general as a tag team with him and Sabin, and how they've molded this generation. And then both of them individually, especially Shelley, like everybody somehow is taken from Alex Shelley or Chris Sabin as the Motor City Machine Guns. So to have this opportunity right now Against All Odds, to say that I'm looking past that is no, I'm not. I know what I'm getting into, and that's a 20-plus year vet. He's one of the best in the world, if not the best in the world. Obviously, he's not the Impact World Champion, and that's something he's never been able to touch, because every time he gets that opportunity, he drops the ball. So we'll find out Against All Odds if he can get it done. But I highly doubt he can, just because it's against me. I'm sorry to say that. Yeah, to say I'm overlooking this, no, there's no way. I respect him. I respect who he is. But at the same time, he's going to be standing across from me in Columbus, Ohio. And when that bell rings, it's mayhem for all.
I've been enjoying the build as well. It's been one of my favorite things to watch in recent weeks. It's been good. It's been different from previous feud, shall we say? It's been I've enjoyed it. So Let's talk about the previous champion, who I met face to face a few months ago, and I was privileged to hold the belt, and damn, that thing's heavy. But there's a reason I sit behind a desk for a job. But yourself and Josh Alexander, sometimes, to me at least, feel like two sides of the same coin, yet are polar opposites at the same time. So, should he return from injury, do you feel like that clash is just destined to be? Because I sincerely hope it is, as a fan and as a reporter.
Yes, no, it's definitely on the list. That's up to Scott D'Amore, obviously, when he heals up and wants to make that match, as well as Josh healing up. I hope he's recovering well and coming back stronger. Just because that's the matchup I wanted originally at Rebellion. And to beat him in his hometown in Toronto of the longest reigning Impact World Champion in history would have been something else, but that didn't happen. Things happen in this business that we can't control.
Yeah.
But I know now that it's built much more of anticipation for that matchup now, which I think in the long run helped our story down the road when that happened. It's one of those moments where I feel I'm one of the best in the company just because I take pride in myself and confidence, and he feels he's one of the best in the company. If not, we are the two best in the company. But we'll find that out later on down the road. And that's one of those things, whether it's for the title or it's not for the title. I think that's the matchup people are going to be talking about regardless.
Yeah, 100%. I was going to say, I think that is a Bound for Glory Slammiversary main event any day of the week, easily. Sign me up for that one. And I feel like it's been teased and kind of dripped to us for so long. And then with him going away, because like where you are the champion, because he obviously had to relinquish because of injury, his historic reign, that must feel as a champion now, that must feel like it's you're not the undisputed champion. There's a dispute there because you didn't take it from him. So that must be, from a storytelling point of view, something you want to clarify and fix.
Yeah, I knew from the beginning, once he went down with injury and the vacation of the title, that was going to be, or the vacating of the title, not vacation. The vacating of the title, that would be held over my head when I won the title at Rebellion from Kushida. But at the same time, even Shelley said it the other night on TV that I'm no Josh Alexander. No shit. I know I'm not Josh Alexander, but Josh Alexander also isn't me, just like Alex Shelley's not me. I'm very adaptable. I've said it that I'm ruthlessly adaptable to situations. I've proven that I can get in the ring with anybody from any walks of life in any type of match, and I adapt to the situation. I overcome them, and I've proven that by being the Impact World Champion. So when the day does come for Josh and I to have that match, you have the walking weapon versus the perfect weapon in Steve Maclin, and that's something very much I'm looking forward to.
Definitely, 100%. You mentioned Impact President Scott D'Amore. Now, this is an interesting one because you've been clashing with him on screen quite a lot. Do you think he's now seeing the value in you as a champion?
I hope so. While he's laying in a hospital bed right now after he got lit on fire, I try to tell him I don't care what job he has. I'm his boss. As long as I'm the world champion, I'm in charge, and I think that's proven. And even with Bully Ray, he acknowledged it too, where he said I'm the world champion. And granted, I know I have to keep one eye left and right and keep an eye on my six as well with Bully around, and I know what he's after. But both of us agree that we don't like the authority figure that is Scott D'Amore and our president. And what if, again, like I said this past week, what if Bully and I team up and continue to do this reign? And but then also you have the what if he wins the number one contendership against all odds, and we go on to Slammiversary after I beat Alex Shelley against all odds, and it is Bully and I. That's something. Whether we're a team, it would be great because he's a Hall of Famer. He's one of the best that's ever done this in the tag division in Bully Ray. You can't trust him, but I know that what he's after is the Impact World title. That's what everybody's after. But for Scott D'Amore, he doesn't like me as champion as well. I've known that from the beginning. I'm not his poster boy in Josh Alexander. I'm not Canadian, of course. He knows I hate Canada. I think Tim Hortons sucks. So it's just one of those things where I like to speak my mind. I don't play by the rules. I learned that through my time in another company of doing the right thing and being the poster child, and that doesn't get you anywhere.
It's like I said, it's time to be the final boss. But I was going to say Bully Ray and Moose, who you've often sometimes teamed up with, where it's never quite worked out. But that's another guy who, I think maybe you should have your head on as well with those two guys around. Because if anyone's going to stab you in the back, it's probably those guys. But do you think you and Scott Dumore might want the same thing ultimately?
In what way?
In terms of the best for the company, to grow the company and to put on the best matches and to have the best champion at the top of the card.
Yeah, well, I don't think he likes me as champion. I don't think he likes the way that I do things. And whether we see eye to eye on that or not, that's up to Scott. But I'm going to do me. I get paid by Impact because I am who I am. I am the world champion right now, and there's nothing they can do about it.
So, taking everything that we've said together about, Impact, yourself, Scott Demore, the company, and how many eyes there are on it, and how well it's doing. But considering your whole journey, how has Impact been as a home to you?
It's been awesome. It's been a place where I get to flourish and show who I am in my true colors, and I don't have to hold back anything where I'm not told no. If I do get told no, I ask why and I get an answer. I don't just get told no. So it's gratifying to have the opportunities that have been given and to go out there and knock them out of the park when I can, or at least I think I'm knocking them out of the park. So I keep getting put in the situations I'm in. But it's a good home. It's a good place to be a pro wrestler, whether you're man or woman. It's just one of those things where it's an opportunity. And if you get the opportunity there and you knock it out of the park, they keep giving you more opportunities. It's not just a little bit of a flurry of a run and then it's taken away, which sometimes places have that. But Impact, if you're picking up steam, they run with it. And that's the one good thing. They take what's hot and they keep going with it. And that's what's getting eyes on, I think, people now to tuning into Impact is realizing, holy crap, the tag division, the X division, the knockouts. Just even Johnny Swinger is one of the most entertaining characters on television. I love watching him when he's out there. So it's just, again, you get to watch everything in Impact, and it's a good place to call home. And I'm happy that I can say that I'm from Impact Wrestling.
I think, Steve, that's a great place to leave it off. I think that's a great place to leave it. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, and I appreciate the time today taking this.